Good morning. So today we're sorting out the programming for the map. So we're just going to do a few programming jobs, and I'm not going to think about what to do. I'm just going to follow my list and do it. Not going to put on my producer hat. I already put on my producer hat on Friday, and we got a nice little list. So yeah, we're trying to fill out this like beautiful corner of the map, which anyone's familiar with that concept, beautiful corners. It's like when you're doing environment design, you kind of you create a beautiful corner. It's as it explains, like you create a little area that is like the top level, and then like you make it look as nice as possible. And then as you do that, I guess we don't need this anymore. As you do that, you find all the little problems and all the little things, and you realize like, so I realized these are the pieces that I need for this type of biome. So if I were to extend that, yeah, we can just extend, put more trees, little rocks, I kind of want to find an algorithm to do the grass, or I might just do it by hand, because it does look good when it comes in these like little groups. It's like, yeah, that's a grassy field, that's a farm, those are some bushes by the road, and yeah, just like noticing things about the countryside that I hadn't thought about before. Because again, I'm totally new to making maps, or at least this level of detail of map. I made a map at my last job, and it was really cool because the artists like made it like, so I drew it in like MS Paint just to get the shape, just to get the level design and decide what is where, what enemies are appearing in what area and so on, and then the artists made it look beautiful. I think they did quite a few changes to the map since then. But yeah, that was fun. But other than that, I have no experience doing maps. I have no experience. Just something occurred to me. Is putting the camera lower? No, like rotating it more. Yeah, we're already at 60 rather than 45. I feel like this. Oh no, that didn't work. And that rotation was very weak. So we're looking like, let's not 90. I guess 60 was the spot. It's not 45. Yeah. Anyway, and yeah, I was just like walking through the countryside and just realizing like, oh yeah, like next to roads, it's never just open field. It's always like bushes and shit, and that makes sense because those would be like the little bits. Like you want a kind of natural barrier from the road to where your farms are, and even if you just have fields and whatnot. So it makes sense to just do all the roads up with like bushes and trees around the sides of it. That makes sense. So yeah, I've been having fun coming up with stuff like that, and doing yeah. And so this is how the whole space is gonna look. Okay. So my next job is to. I thought that I had made this so far using UI elements, but it turns out no, it was actually three sprites. So as long as this has a collider, and I guess it needs to have the base container. Base container. Where it has reference to the map. Why does it have reference to the map? Why would it have reference to the map there? Because I think it ought to. I guess it's not a big deal. We could do the static thing. Because I find it a bit awkward to have that there. Mission container. Yeah. Also map. Map should be a universal thing. This is just how I do it. And like my method is becoming more refined over time. I don't think this is the same as like every programmer would do it, especially like a big company or something. But I've found that in order to get around stuff like this, so you always have like a central thing that controls things, and then the other bits that rely on that can access it by, so we make public map C, public static map. So this can always be accessed. And then I guess, over in start. And I need to be more clear about whether I'm using start or awake, but for now, they can kind of be interchangeable. Obviously, awake happens first. But we'll make C equals get component map. And then anytime we need to reference the map, we go map.c.thing. So it just makes a very short journey to like getting what's on there. And it was working fine as it was, and all I had to do was click and drag that a couple times. But I want to do things properly. I want to do things the way that I'm going to do them, you know. So we have an error there. Okay, yeah, and so I need to do this. So it turned out I'd already done it like that, so there's less work. So I've just jumped ahead in time, which is always a bit jarring. And then we've got missions transform. And we need to do the same thing for missions, in that we like unlock them. If so, then mission m equals missions dot, and do we have get mission? Yeah, and I think this is a good one as well. So this would be missions dot all missions. Oh no, in what am I thinking? Missions transform. And there we are. And then basically completing a mission should unlock the other ones. And I think we're not going to do the line in the end, as in we could draw a line between each mission, because I think at points, because of the different characters you play as, like you'll jump through the map. And I don't want to do a thing like switching character, like switching faction from the map screen. I don't want to, because that would solve it. You could switch, and then you would only see the missions that character has, that faction has, and then you could do the dotted line. But actually, I think the dotted line is, it's not really necessary. It was kind of like what I was thinking of, but for this game, it just doesn't. We just don't need it. We can just always have an arrow somewhere pointing to where the next bit of mission is, because you might have to like move around the map quite a lot. And then it's kind of, I think that's quite fun. So like you switch from the humans to the orcs, for example, and you'll see the little you'll switch from humans to orcs, and you'll see the little like you have to move the map to where they are. Right, so you could have like a little cutscene. It's like, oh yeah, look, we're moving from here to here now. But I think it's quite fun to say it to actually, if the player does it, and then that's like, because you think about film, right? You think about how do you cut from like one entire storyline to another entire storyline. So it's generally not just a hard cut. You would have some kind of transition or some sort of like setup shot. So you would have a shot of the new location. But in a game, we actually make you fly there, like you're some sort of... And I don't know if that's better, but it's interesting. I actually have to fly and like feel the distance and go past all the places on my way there, and I can stay and look at the map for as long as I like to get a sense of, you know, what's happening. So I just think that's cool. We're also going to set up movement on map screen. So we've done this, and I think we've done this. And I think we should hide it if it's not locked, just so that we can actually have them all on by default if we want. So like we don't have to like turn them all off before actually rendering, before exporting, making a build. It will just deal with however I've left it in the scene. Simple little improvement to the code there. Right. So that is set up, so then that needs its collider. What's it got? That's just the shadow. So yeah, we can set up a collider, and we'll just do a simple box collider. I know it's basically a 2D scene, but I tend to always just work in 3D, just because I think it gives you more options like this. So we need to turn the gizmo on, and I think that's actually a decent radius. I don't know if we should tighten it up a little bit. Like, you don't want to be like thinking you've clicked on it and not clicked on it. So yeah, you generally make these things a bit wider. But that's actually fine, and the Z depth doesn't matter. It could at some point, but I don't think it's going to in this game. So that's that, and then the mission, we need to do the same thing. So mission, and we just want the collider. And that can be a bit smaller. That works well. And I also want to do, so on each of these, so we do, so we're going to need the animator. And actually, I think these can be private, and better if they're set up at start. Because it's low on. Yeah, I guess it doesn't make a difference. I'm just thinking about having to set each of these ones individually, but we could easily just do and you wouldn't want to do this for something that like spawns in scene, because then you have to do the get component, but it just means that I don't have to set it up in the editor each time. So if I make a new mission, it's just like, well, I don't have to change, I don't have to tell it, or base, I don't have to tell it what collider to use. So I think that's actually a better method. We'd have this in mission container as well. Should we probably actually don't even need the base to be public, because, but we'll just keep it like that for now anyway. Okay, and then so if we're looking at the, but no, not on mouse button down, so we need to check at all times, and it shouldn't be that each of them are checking at all times. Again, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to affect performance if there's just like 10 of them, you know, like that's not going to make any difference at all. But I should do it properly. So we should handle the raycast. So let me just get the simple one. In here, we should handle the raycast in here. Or, you know, in some kind of central object. Doesn't have to be this. And then this would have a update method, because it didn't have one before. And then we do the raycast. And basically, and we need to know so we get our hit and our ray. So we do our raycast out hit, and then we say if, and then when you do hit the thing, you say if hit dot collider dot game object, and I think I don't need the game object there, but I think it's just nice to see it. we're going back to the game object, and then we're getting the component of mission container of base container. We could probably skip this whole thing entirely and just get me open up the mission. So actually this entire script becomes redundant. We just say get me the mission of the name, open mission, and then here we go. So yeah, I think we could just kill those scripts. This is a lot simpler. We're handling it from one place, so we're only doing one raycast, because we don't want every object firing off raycasts and checking if you're looking at me or not, you know. But that means that, yeah, for like highlighting, that's going to be interesting. So then we go open mission, yeah. Click base container. And then this would be a similar one. Click mission contain. Oh wait, no. We just need to check if the object is tagged as a mission, or yeah. So if hit.collider. And again, it doesn't matter that much how you do this, but I've kind of done this a few times. I want to get it proper correct, like a simple, you know, easy to understand, easy to follow, and well optimized. If hit.collider. GameObject.tag is equal to, and we should probably use a constant here, but it's really very minor just for this. If the tag is base, and then similarly, if the tag is mission, and then I'll go into Unity and make sure those tags are on. So the moment they're untagged, we're not using the tag. So we say mission. While we're here, we'll make another one which is base. These are all missions. Oh no, these are all bases. Silly me. These are all bases. And these are all missions. It should be easier once we we'll make a prefab for that. So at the moment it's just the one mission that you can see. Right. Yeah, so then we've completely cut out the need for base container and mission container. Like, there's just no need for it. So and I think this is better code. I think this is cleaner. So then it's just very simple. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then what we need, what I would like to do now, just while I'm here, is like get these to animate. And I just want a thing that is going to, like, when I mouse over something that I can actually click, that it like responds to me. so it'll get bigger and start like, it's highlighted in a very animated way, not just. I mean, we could just do a white background, but either way, I want an optimized way of mousing over. The issue with like, I could just put a raycast. I could just put the raycast on each object and be like, "Are you looking at me or are you not looking at me?" But I think there's a way to like, so before the mouse button down, and then like, I guess we want to. Well, again, like, we don't have to access a script, right? We just need to say, if hit.collider well, no, so it's not going to be the tag. Or we could ask, has it got either of these tags? Or can we just ask, like, does it have an animator component? I mean, I don't really want to ask every frame. Like, I want to sort of like, we've moused over something new. So we would have like public game object, moused object. Obviously that would be private. Mouse object equals hit equals hit dot game object. Like, I guess I could ask, like, each frame, is this different? Although I think that there it just becomes simpler at this point. Like, the code's getting a bit messy. It's probably actually better to look for to just have the raycast on each object. Animate, or just get a component every frame. Because it's UI, it's not like this is going to be happening on 1,000 different objects. It's just happening once per frame. Animator equals hit dot game object. And actually, again, like, I'm worried about optimization in a place where it really doesn't matter. But, oh, for God's sake. I thought I had, yeah, so we have target animator. Target animator equals hit dot get component dot game object dot collider, and I think we can just go straight to get component animator, and then we just say if animate target animator. But then it's like, what about turning them off? So when you stop mousing over the thing, how does it know to turn off? So I guess we did need the new object, old object thing, or we're just doing a raycast in each object. So we would just like have a bit of code that's like mouse highlighter. What? When did we get rid of? When did we get rid of bases and missions transform? That's me just being stupid. But yeah, we won't need target animator. We'll make a little code called map sprite highlighter. Is that really, yeah, like because I could do it super optimized in code where it's like we only do get components and stuff if it's a new object or something. Or like, I just think a raycast is not that expensive. So if you have it happening on each highlightable object, that's not a big deal. Now, if we had like 1,000 highlightable objects, then it would be a different story. But we're not going to have that many. So there's no point in me like super optimizing this code, if that makes sense. So yeah, we just make map sprite highlighter. And the map sprite highlighter does a very simple thing. And it goes if hit dot collider is equal to, and we'll set up our collider. I guess this should be lowercase, unless maybe it's a component, so it should be uppercase. Okay. So then we need to set that up. So we're going to want an animation on this. So highlight should be like, shrink a tiny bit for me. And then spring out to, I'm just experimenting here, I don't know if this is good. And spring out to 6, so we go. Or I think maybe best to keep it simple. We don't have the like shrink effect and everything, because we just want like a looping animation. I mean, we could do it like that, but that would be quite a bit of effort. So we just go from 5. I think 6 is a bit much. And it's probably like every half a second. Let's see. It's a bit violent. But yeah, okay, what about 2 seconds then? Yeah, that seems about right. Like you've definitely highlighted this object. Okay, and then we'll create another one. I guess idle. I think I should always just stop calling so many things idle, because I think other things get confused. Like, because I could search for something idle and I wouldn't be sure which one I'm getting. But idle is actually just nothing. Yeah, we could do more with the highlight. We can give it a bit of a, because I think it's important to have these things nice. Actually, yeah, hold on, just while I'm thinking of this. So a highlight could also have so if we just reset this and then said except this would need to be, this is 0, yeah, it's always going to be, oh no, so these things should be in front, I think. One, and then the highlight so let's be consistent with this. This should come out to 1.05. So the height should also be 1.05. And then the position would be like that. And it looks a bit funky on the flag, but I think for most things that'll work well. Oh, what's happened? Lost control for a sec. Yeah, I think that's fine. We could finesse that more with quite a bit of effort, but I think for now that does a good job of showing yeah, of like showing that we've highlighted the thing. Yeah, that's just there, so I just need to make sure that and then so when it's idle, we need to make sure that's off. Or like shrunk, so then it will like pop out nicely, hopefully. Hey Valplum, how's it going? Actually no, let's keep the scale. Let's just have it fade. These chimney smokes should be in like layer 2, so they're above things, but yeah, we'll figure that out later. So highlight should actually just be like invisible by default. And then so I'm going to want that copied into other bases and missions. So if we copy it into mission as well. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh. Let me see. Yeah, is that better now? Because I think sometimes it just comes a bit loose. I can see it's going through. Let me check. Yeah, it seems like it's working. It might be at your end. Anyway, so yeah, highlight for this one. See if we paste component values. Yeah, see that looks a bit whack. So this one should be in the center. That's fine. That's easy to change. And then this should have I guess we take, easiest thing is to take this animator, yeah. And yeah, it's that root, that controller, the controller name is not good. The controller name should not just be for one of the things. But we'll paste that over for now. And then this also can highlight. But then why is for highlight it should be on. And then idle off, yeah. So then we need to take this and we create a bool. What do we call it? Highlight, yeah. And that's off by default. And then it's just a very simple that should do it. So that should look nice and feel nice. We'll see. We'll try it out. You still can't hear. I think that might be at your end, because I just listened to a bit of the stream on my phone, and I could hear it. Can you? Well, there's no in-game audio at the moment, so you, yeah. I think it might be at your end. I'm speaking to you. You can't hear me. Yeah, so that should highlight, and then yeah, that's highlighting done. Do I want to do more, or do I? Yeah, I want to like start the scene. So, oh, and for bases, so our little library of bases, this has been changed to Ironwell. So we're going to find all instances of Humantown and call it Ironwell. And we're going to find all traces of this and call it Ironwell. There we are. And I don't think that should cause any errors. I might have to click and drag a file or something, but yeah, we have Ironwell. Okay, well, okay, so this is done, and we set up that, and we're gonna need to have like movement on the map screen, so like WSD for camera movement. So yeah, that's a bit of a job. And yeah, if I do this, where does this take me? So first of all, I think we have to take off these. That's fair. And then, okay, so then we need to set up basis transform again on the map. Map canvas, there it is. Okay, let's see what else happens. So it's having a problem with so it couldn't find Ironwell, Orc Camp, Graveyard, Demon Palace. I mean, it's probably the first one. Bases, Ironwell. Town of humans. Oh, cheers. Yeah, is the audio working? Ah, nice. Yeah, it might have just been like, I think it must have been at your end. Glad you got that sorted. I'm having trouble figuring out why this is giving me an error, so it's like debug.log trans.name. Is it to do with, no, I don't think so. It's not like some deep save thing that I have to worry about, like syncing up the save file basis with the game's basis. Like, that's just But oh, is it because oh, it's because we don't actually have our like root object. That's why. There's nothing wrong with this script. It's just that hasn't loaded yet. So I kind of want to say like that wouldn't be a bad point to say if saveload.currentProfile is equal to null. I think. Have we got that elsewhere? Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do a check. If no save, return to main game. And then then we can come back here. It's just easier to do it like that. So then I don't have to like load the scene. Oh, nice. Yeah, idle animations are fun. It's hard to get the right thing between like movement and it just being subtle versus it being like, hey, I'm alive. Depending on what you want, of course. Yes, I think we're good. And it should just load back to the title screen. Yeah, 3 frames seems about right. Looking forward to seeing that when you're ready to show it. Okay, good. So we've gone back to title screen and then we end up in the map and we press play and what's wrong? Okay, I think I didn't put missions on. No, I probably did because I've got it working before. So what's wrong here? So if I go... Yeah, what was wrong then? So in missions transform, and we do have a mission called mission 1, right? Yeah, so is missions on stuff. It is. So what's the problem? Yeah, I haven't checked that out yet. Yeah. Hold on, can I go? I'm just checking out your channel. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, you've got the little pea shooter. Yeah, and it's like wobbling back and forth. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good start. Good start. Nice one. I started playing Pal World this weekend. Have you played that? I'm guessing you like that. Okay, so why isn't this loading? Is it because like missions are happening in a different place. Hey, Leo STVVR, you like the gameplay? You've played this game. I'm glad. And hello Z Game India. Nice to meet you. Thanks for dropping by. So I'm just doing a bit of debugging. I'm trying to figure out why it's not loading this. So maybe it's because the list hasn't been made yet. No, the list has been made because there's two things in it. The list has been made. So something's not matching then. Get mission. Yeah, yeah. I guess it's like, except in Minecraft has the, you can build. What do you call it? You can build blocks wherever you want. Power World, you can't do that. And I guess it's just like quite in depth, like the way the dudes level up. I haven't played the Pokemon mod on Minecraft, but yeah, no, I like Power World a lot. I knew I would. I waited for early access. I'm just gonna like sort out bases. Yeah, I'll say that for now. Why be consistent with commenting? Just say it how you feel it. Okay. So it's not that the list hasn't been made yet. Cobblemon. Yeah, that sounds fun. Wait. It's trying to find Ironwell. For each trans and missions transform. Ah, I'm a moron. That's always the answer is because I'm a moron. Because I made some stupid bloody mistake, and it's just a matter of being really clever so you can figure out the stupid mistake you made. That's my life. Missions. There we go. I think that sounds like a bot. I think Leo STVVR might be a bot. It just seems like. I don't know why it's here. Do you think it's like training by trying to talk to other people and seeing what kind of responses it gets? Like it's training. Like I don't understand what they're saying there. I think it seems like bot behavior to me. I know. Nah, man. Okay. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You have free control of your hands. In what you have free? Like, why are you talking about that? No, I'm like, if you're a human or a bot, that's fine. Like, I'm just curious about what you're trying to say. But then the Nah Man was kind of like, although that's the bot being quite convincing at making me think that actually it's not a bot, because I feel like a bot wouldn't say Nah Man and wouldn't spell it like that. But maybe that's exactly what a bot, like, that's why it's a good phrase, because Nah Man makes you think it's not a bot for a bit. Makes you doubt whether it's a bot. Yeah, curious. Okay, where was I? Yeah, I wonder if like it's okay if it's a robot. We can still talk. That's fine. Okay, yeah. So movement on the map screen. We're not even there yet. I just want to get into the scene without it freaking out. And yeah, it was a stupid mistake, and we fixed it. I mean, bots say some wild shit. That's true. Oh yeah, that's lovely. It needs to come off quicker though, or at all. So why didn't that come off? Did I just set this up stupidly? Highlight is false, and then on the map sprite highlighter. So what's the problem? Why is it not? So I can actually grab the object and it's on highlight. And highlight is true. Oh, I see. So if there is no hit, it should also... I don't know if that's spaghetti. I don't know if there's a more elegant way of doing that. Like if hit... if there's no collider, don't highlight me. Last stop on the tour is all about our creative community. Yeah, that's a bot. I mean, it's helpful to me because it's engaging with the video. I didn't assign this bot though. You make a pen as your gateway to creation. For some, it means creating beautiful. Yeah, I think it's someone just spitting out random garbage. I don't know why though. I don't know what it benefits. I don't know how it benefits from doing this. Okay, so that should fix that. Yeah, let's just quickly see that. I'm quite pleased with this effect though. I think it looks nice. I think one day maybe I can moonlight as a UI designer. Look at that. Yeah, that's really smooth. It's like you are definitely highlighting this object. And then, oh. What's the problem now? Okay, but that wasn't a mission. Oh shit. Did Sam Neill die? I like Sam Neill. He was the guy from Jurassic Park. Shit. That's really sad. Everyone's dying. I'm getting older. Right, mission. Yeah, because it seemed like it was trying to select Ironwell as a mission. So yeah, we've gotten this wrong. Open base. No, that's mission. This is base. Can't believe I overlooked that. It's such a simple one. It's that it really is. Best way to avoid bugs is to like just pay attention. I mean, do you think it's like some kind of weird troll, or I think it's an AI that's like trying to see how people respond to it or something. I don't know what it benefits from like being in the chat here. Yeah, it's quite funny. Yeah, okay. And yeah, if that was a nice like UI panel, this would look quite tidy. I'm just seeing that and sort of starting to come together. Nice little scene. So obviously it looked crap with the placeholder map that was just, you know, had no relationship with what we wanted to see. Okay, so you click on that. Yeah, I think just ignore it up and over. That's it. I don't think that means anything. It's the it feels like a generic phrase that you might it's a generic phrase that you might see in a video game, like, oh, this is how you do this bit, you know. Safe fam, how's it going? Yeah, I think we've got a bot in the chat. I didn't assign this bot, obviously, but it's in the chat engaging with the video, which is nice. I do enjoy that, but yeah, it's just saying weird stuff, and we were trying to. It had quite a convincing when I called it out for being a bot. It said "nah, man," and I was like, "Oh, the bot wouldn't say that." But now I'm convinced it's a bot again, and it's like just quite clever at throwing you off. It's like if you're talking to a robot and you're like, "Are you a robot?" And he's like, "No, I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot," and then goes back to spitting out like talking like a robot again. But yeah, it's just quite funny. I don't want to get too distracted. Right, so what's wrong with faction name? B.faction name. Is it because, so if we go bases, humans, orcs, and then what's wrong with that then? Factions. Yeah, so I don't know what the problem here is. I got a nice highlight animation. You'll see in a sec. I'm quite happy with it. It's like you are definitely highlighting that object. It's very clean. It's on theme. Oh, I actually recognize Albuquerque, New Mexico. That is definitely a good bot phrase. Because that's okay. Now I'm back to thinking that it's a human pretending to be a bot, saying things that bots would say. But I know Albuquerque, New Mexico, because I watched Kit Boga. He does like scam baiting videos. It's quite funny, and he like gets scammers to call him up and takes them on a run around. And he got some like AI phone calls, and he completely messed them up and got them to repeat like Albuquerque, New Mexico like 1,000 times. It was quite funny. So yeah, I got that reference. Oh, and the chimneys are working. That's nice to see. I only just realised that. So we need to program the thing that like flips them around for the flipped buildings, or like changes their position. Oh, but that's really nice though. I'm really pleased with that. Why isn't that one highlighting? Mission, yeah. Why isn't that highlighting? We also ought to have it play the same sound that we have for like mousing over other things, because I just heard it. We need to have, yeah, that sound for when you're hovering over something. Why isn't this? Okay. Does it not have a collider or something? What did I miss here? Is it something to do with how I've set up the controllers? So if I just go animation, it does it. And the animator... Oh, it doesn't have map highlighted. It doesn't have the script. Silly me. So let's click on that. Very silly me. I made that script. I forgot to actually add it. Okay, yeah, that's nice. I'm quite pleased with that. It might need to like snap in a bit, like maybe it feels a bit sluggish, but it's just like it's very clear what you can highlight or not. And you could like let the player know that the objects are highlightable by just giving them a quick bump when the scene starts. or like, and have the next mission kind of do that anyway. Intelligence. That's funny. Oh yeah. That sounds fun. God, yeah, I haven't played First Light. I've been playing Pal World. That's been my jam lately. I got Hades 2. I really am not enjoying Hades 2 very much. It's not nearly as much as the first one. I don't rate that game. Okay, what are we doing? Pay attention. Set up movement on the map screen. So yeah, we got the map working. Oh yeah, what happens when I click? Just want to get through this shit. Okay, mission. So what's wrong? Why does that fail to open a mission? Debug.log. In fact, it would be where's that coming from? So that would be coming from. Okay. Name. That's going to be asking for the name of this, so neither of those are going to work. So it's going to be get mission hit.collider.name. Okay, that takes us into the space. Base manager, basis transform. Oh wait, yeah, so we're basis transform. Okay, yeah, so we need to change this to Ironwell. That's a bit of a pain. But yeah, it's just how this is set up. So it might be better to actually just like instantiate those things or something. But it shouldn't come up too often. Just things not working because the name changed. I don't know if I should like kick this bot. Because while I enjoy the engagement, it is kind of distracting, and it's obvious that that's what you call spam, isn't it? So yeah, I'm gonna put them on timeout at least for a day. Control. Oh, I didn't like Control. Maybe it's just because I don't particularly love like first-person shooters. Or like third-person shooters, I don't like. It just didn't inspire me. Okay, this is working, and we need to have like click off the map to get rid of this window. It's a bit annoying. Okay, what's wrong here? Oh, I did a stupid. I changed it in the unsaved scene. Oh dear. Yeah, I didn't love Control. This is the same people do like the same universe as like Alan Wake and stuff, I think. Okay, we're back here. So we need to draw this, obviously. We need the currency icon to look different. It shouldn't look like a bean, but here we have it. Oh yeah, we're actually back to the map. But we've lost. Oh, and I need to think about how this is going to work with Controller, why is the mouse hiding? I don't want the mouse to hide. It should only be hiding if there's like controller inputs. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Now it's not happening. So if I go back into the scene, I think that might have just been a Unity quirk. We'll see. Oh, Grounded was great. I played quite a lot of that with Tommy. Grounded is great. I really liked it. I really liked dressing up as an ant and carrying 8 times my weight or whatever it is to build my house. I really enjoyed that part because I felt it made me feel clever by just doing what the game basically tells you to do. Okay, so we've got missions. We've got bases. We can go into the base. We can leave the base. So we need like click to drag mouse movement and yeah, just while we're at it, let's go map. Yeah, we can say like, I don't know how this is going to work, but if mission panel, what is that, a game object? Yeah. Dot active self, then, and then how do we close mission panel? Yeah, like that. Just want to test that out. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, I think it is 10 times in the game. It's whatever it is. Where did I get 8 times my weight from? Is that spiders? Or like spiders are like proportionately 8 times stronger than a human or something like that. I think that might just be that sounds like bullshit. Oh, I need to click. So this is how these like raycast things start to turn into spaghetti. What was wrong with that? I just need to do that open brackets. I don't know which bit you're referring to, but yeah, this how these scripts, the raycast scripts, can turn into spaghetti, because I like, you kind of have the same calls here and here, but you're like, this is basically saying if we're not clicked on anything that has or if we're not looking at something with a thingy, with a collider, and so we want to say if we're not looking at anything with a collider and we click, oh, I can't remember, and we click, then we should close that window, and that's nice. Okay. So now let's do camera movement for the map. So we want WASD and we also want click drag to move. So this will all be handled in the map, and we're in the start with in the update method. So we'll have another one called, we could put this somewhere else, but I think we should just have one called camera control. And we're gonna want, so let's get into that scene. We're going to want to make a dolly. I think, just to be clear, cam dolly. So this is just like an object to put the camera in. So the camera maintains its like, okay, and so let's just put this at 0 for now. So we're actually in the middle of the map, or like we should be pointing at 0 basically, which I can see is that corner. So I just want to find like a nice round number so that that's kind of in the middle. I think that's a nice round number, 175, right? And then we're sort of looking at what is basically the center of the map. And then we pop it in our dolly, put it near the top again, and then we can just move the dolly like this to handle the map, the camera, and then zooming we'll worry about in a bit, but let's do let's do movement first. So I swear I've already done this. So we'll just copy this. We should copy a bunch of that, so because at some point I have to just go through the whole game with a controller, and but I'm not going to worry about that for now. But if we already kind of have it here, because I've done this, already. So where did that script go? It went on the manager. So yeah, we can do the same thing. I guess what we ought to do is have a single camera that has different parameters that uses the same script, but you know what? It's not going to come up very often. Let's just pop it here. And so that was definitely in update. So not dependent on building panel, but we'll still bracket it. And then we need any of the ones that were to do with camera, velocity. Okay, I guess I must have copied this from somewhere else as well. So yeah, let's take that. Yeah, I did this ages ago for the thingy. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a really good starting project. Is just make something that you know and make something that you love. Make something so you can understand it. I should have done something like that. Okay, so we're gonna take this. And we'll just simplify this. Ah, can't type. Can't use camera.main anymore. Okay, it's because we set up. And yeah, we might not want the cam dolly. Oh, okay, bye Valplume. Thanks for joining. Okay. So actually, let's keep that. But then this. Okay, and then yeah, we should have a similar thing. And then we'll sort out the like camera edges. Cam position is less than, yeah, it's a bit spaghetti, but it's just a one-off thing. So will this just work? I'm curious. How is this gonna like, because we've got the camera controls on now, and I've just kind of like plastered them on. I've just like plop. Let's see if it like connects up in any way. Okay, what's wrong? Okay, yeah, so we're going to want to assign that map. And then I guess we should. So how do we have it in bases? Base manager. Oh, click and drag or scroll. Okay, so that's the same bit. That's nice. We can keep that. Controls controller and controls keyboard. And they're like not in the same place, but that's fine. So we just want that in here somewhere. Yeah, that's nice. It's in the same spot. And it's just gonna, that just literally swaps. So it's a bit of a like something that I'm gonna say till later, but it just means that whenever I move the controller, it gives me controller like, yeah, if I'm using the mouse, it will tell me about the mouse controls, and if I'm using the controller, it will tell me about the controller controls, and in the right language. So I think, did I set that up already? That's just, yeah, I think the language is handled elsewhere. Never mind. We'll get there. First pass is just making it work, then we worry about localization and controller usage and stuff like that. Oh, okay, so we've zoomed right in. So first of all, this should be, and I guess if we're not using a cam dolly, although I think I should basically redo this. So we've got our input axis. I think this is based on UI, but I think that should work. So cam move speed, yeah, mouse move X, mouse move Y. Smoothly to target position. So yeah, we want it to go smooth. That's nice. So we want to keep most of this. Switch controls, yeah, switch controls. Okay, so we don't need, okay, so yeah, we want to keep a lot of this, but then yeah, where does it end up putting the camera in? So camera position. We want to set that at start. So we say camera position equals transform position. So it should start like where it is. And then it doesn't matter about like starting in the middle or wherever. Okay, is that assigned? Yeah. Okay, let's give that a whirl. Okay, so where has the camera ended up? Somewhere in La La Land. But the Z position is 0. So why has the cam position? Okay, what if we say awake there? It's just an experiment. I'm not saying that'll fix it. I just want to see what happens. So camera position ends up being, what's that, 50? Okay, but like at least we've got our movement and stuff, but I just don't know why the Z position. Okay, so the Z position has become 0. Should we just be moving the dolly? I don't know. Because yeah, we need to sort out zooming as well, which we haven't got that functionality. So yeah, the Z position will be handled. That just really annoys me. Okay, so why is the Z position 0? When did the Z position ever get set to 0? Like, that never happened. And yeah, we're editing the... It's actually the Z position that we want to move. So could I just move Y and then it's like, let's just put 175 for now. No, let's put 300 for now. And we'll get to that later when we add zoom functionality. Okay, why on earth? And then yeah, there should be Z. Because we're moving on X and Z with Y being up. Like that's how I like to do it at least. It's mouse X that relates, mouse Y relates to map Z basically. Is that what happened? No, it seems to have gone to 0. Like I don't understand. Okay, yes, it moved the Y position. So I guess I just don't understand why the like. Yeah, why does Z go to 0? To 2? Okay, yeah, because those were the limits. And let me just pause and move the map, move the camera. Or does it not register? Where is the camera? It's like way off in. Where did it get that from? Why is it just continually moving up? Where on earth? Like, where is it getting that? Oh, it's... Oh, okay. So I messed with that. So that's plus equals. Move Y. I see. Okay. So this would be 0 then. We'll deal with that later. And this would be move Y. And these caps, I'll just get rid of these for now. So hopefully then, like that, it's like Y shouldn't move. Y should just stay where it is. Nothing should affect Y. Yeah, I don't know where it got to 415. I don't know where it got that number from, but okay. So I don't know how it got to like 615 as well. I don't know how it did that. I don't know, like, what do you mean 615? Why is it like snapping back there? Oh, okay, because it's just moving back to its map position. So if I go, and yeah, how did it get all the way over there? Like, why did it decide to make that its spot? So if we get to 0, we should start seeing the map. Yes, don't know where it gets 415 from. Where did it get that? Like, where the fuck did it get that from? Like, where did it get that from? Okay, so yeah, I want to see, like, where are these crazy numbers when we launch in with the map? Like, where do those crazy numbers come from? $4.15. Where did you get $4.15 from? That's not where you are. That's not where it starts. Like, whoa. Oh, that's the map. Ah, that's the canvas's position. God, I'm such a moron sometimes. Camera dot transfer, and camera is a camera. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. So yeah, it was right to, like, figure out those crazy numbers. Because it shouldn't just be coming in like that. Obviously, what you're going to do is fix that by adding in the restrictions, but good to find out why are we getting such crazy numbers. Okay. All right, we've got decent movement, and we've got mouse drag movement. Obviously, I think that the WSD is a bit too fast. The mouse dragging is about right. But yeah, WSD is a bit too fast, so we can just slow that down. So I could just divide this by 2. Can move speed. Let's make that 25. But then that's going to affect the clicking and dragging speed, but then I can just modify it at that end. So get this right for WASD, and then I can put whatever multiplier on the clicking dragging speed. Is this? That still feels like it hasn't changed at all. Let's put it down to like 10. Now, Matthew, I don't know if you're still there, but if you're on playing some Power World, that would be good. Why does it feel like the speed has barely changed? Right? So like cam move speed, because cam move speed is oh, that's just, where's WASD input.get access? Okay, so I think WASD is going based off of this. So let's bring cam move speed back to 50, just so that it's where it was. And I think that might just be for controllers, which is a bit weird, but... And then input.get access divided by 10, just to make it slower. Let's see if these numbers change it. Still feels pretty fast, but it's better. But is that making a difference at all? Because this is input.get access, and yeah, it makes sense that you would just want this to be a lower number, and then that should work. No, it still just seems to be the same. So what is controlling the camera? Why did that happen twice? Okay, and how have we gone off the rails? Okay, so yeah, let's get these edges. So that's our top left edge. So that puts the camera at if it's, let's just try and round that to -30, is that? Z 157. Yeah, 31 and 157. Slightly awkward numbers, but That's minus. So yeah, I could make like a universal camera that just kind of you just set up all of those things and you set up the angle it's looking at, but yeah, that's nice around the edges. Yeah, it feels good. That's like the size of our map. That's what we can explore in this game. It's kind of just like 4 different screens, but you know, we'll modify it a bit as well. But yeah, we've got space for the demons to appear there, or here, I guess, in the center. And yeah, lovely. Have to deal a little bit with these like overlapping mountains. So I have to think about their positioning, but it's not too bad. I'm kind of okay with it. Okay, so then the scroll wheel would want to basically like lower, like mess with Y. And I think no, I think that's going to change. That's just for the controller, but okay, so then we could say like if, and yeah, actually scroll is going to be something different. Let's see. Free Robux? No. I've never played Roblox, not even once. So if, yeah, so like move Y, no, move Z, which is inverted, but let's just go with it for now. Move Z plus equals input dot get access scroll, and let's just put all of that on it. And let's just see what that does. And I guess it would be move Y as well. This isn't a bad place, but best place would be, I think, look at Brackeys. Brackeys was the tutorials I used to learn how to make games. They're very good tutorials. I'll write it in the chat. That's how I learned how to code and make games. I would recommend just doing a couple of them and then you know, making your own stuff. But you'll get the idea, you'll learn how to use Unity, you'll kind of get the basics down. So what did I want? I wanted, yeah, movement, and then scroll. So what is Unity input? This is dodgy. So like, is anything happening? Because there's the new okay, yeah, it's just not registering anything. Where is it? And I need to be using the new one. I think it's inputs, like player inputs. Input manager. So we should have one called scroll. Okay, so that's just for the joystick. So I'm not going to touch that. So input dot. So I thought I've done this before, but so hopefully I haven't messed anything up. I'm underrated. Oh, that's kind of you to say. Just doing my work on stream, you know, bit of advertising, I guess. Just kind of, yeah. Hopefully people find it interesting watching a game get made from start to finish. I don't expect anyone to watch all of it, but, you know, it's nice to pop in and out. And then, of course, it's kind of like Unity's given me a nice bit of YouTube's basically allowed me to record things for free. So yeah, move C. So then, is that moving Z? It's moving Y. And then, so should it move Z up? I'm getting confused between Z and Y, but like move Y should go down. I guess I'll just try every combination until it works, but at least that's happening. Because what I want is, I think it needs to move Move Y would come down, move Z would come up. Let's see. Let's Z. Thank you, GIFGAF, for spamming me constantly. Okay, yeah. Okay, but it's like way off. So like it might need, because it might need to be some like funky. So in. No. So it should be the other way around. One goes up, one comes down. And it's the one that affects the one that affects C, which is actually Y, which should be like ×2. Which is where you get into maybe a dolly would have been good. But like, and also so this would be 4. Like it did, it's just way too slow. Let's give that a try. We'll figure this out. It's weird how like the first one it kind of comes up. Wait, what? Oh, I see, because of the way it's zoomed. It's like the maximum height has to change. That's so dodgy. Why does it like wiggle? Oh, because the Z position can't be moved anymore. Okay. I think we're going to have to use a cam dolly. Because then the cam dolly can just like move on an axis basically. So like the camera, the cam dolly should be at 0. And it's the cam dolly that moves, not the camera. And then it's like, this is awkward. Maybe for Zoom we should just do field of view. Yeah, it's probably easiest actually, and instead of all this. So yeah, let's just use field of view. So camera dot field of view equals += input dot mouse scroll delta, and let's just see how that works, because we're probably going to have to divide it by a lot. Like ×1 for now, let's say. Camera.field of view, and then we'll do cap if camera.field of view is greater than, and let's get our limits. greater than I think where we have it is like our maximum zoom out. So let's say 3. And then to zoom in, we lower the field of view, and let's say that can go down to 2. So I'm fairly certain we're going to want to like make this 0.5 or something, or even less. Should be reversed. And it seems a little bit, yeah, so this should definitely be times like 0.01. And like, are we going to have like the smooth move? Are we going to do a smooth damping on this? Yeah, like yeah, so then we're going to have float camera zoom equals, let's say 3f to begin with, and then camera zoom, and then I kind of want to use like smooth damp or lerp. I think it's like lerp towards. No, just 0 is fine. Okay, something like that. Okay, well that's smooth now. Don't need it to be quite so smooth. And it's these parts that need to be capped. yeah, you've kind of just got like the two views. Kind of zoom in for in and out for out, and there's not really much in between, but there wouldn't need to be. It just gives you a sense of freedom, I think. I mean, could we zoom out even more than that? Could we go to like full map? Go to like 5 so you could see more of the map, and then we just make the edges a bit smoother, although no, I think this is fine. That sense of a journey, moving from place to place. Why would we want to see the full map? Would it actually look nice when it's all done? So we could make the limit 5, but then what does that do for the edge caps? So it means I'll be able to see over the edge or not. So it's like the edge would have to be because if I'm fully zoomed in, I don't actually get the edge. And if I'm fully zoomed out, I guess the thing is to like make this my edge, but the map should like extend or like have some kind of soft fade over the edge. Because if I make the corner here, then the camera can't go past that bit, and I can only zoom in there. So like I don't know what the maths is on that, because I guess it would be easy if the camera was just moving, because then the space would be relative. But I would want to say something like these caps would be like multiplied by what the zoom is, or we just kind of stick with what we had. There's 3, and you can't really see much further out than that. So if we're at 3, roughly, then and then if we want to see more of the map, so then the top edge would need to be like 164. The bottom would be 180. So 164 and 180. And then it would be like you could pinch that math, so you could say if 3 is 3, or like if 5 is 5, then 191 is, so like you just add a bit to it. But then I think actually we just need to like make, so if the limit is 3, we just need to make this like you can't actually do much out there, but these are the things you can click on. As long as you can click on all the things you want to click on, and then we could just kind of extend the edge of the map with like more filler, you know, or just make that the reference point. So we say if we're at 3, then yeah, we can't go any further out. And then if we wanted to go to like 5, yeah, I guess it's like the caps can be different depending on how zoomed out we are. So if we were zoomed out to 5, the new top cap is 164. The new so that would be 164. I mean, I guess one of the things is you make things a bit easier with a cam dolly, because if the camera is there, but it's the dolly that moves, then the numbers are a bit more consistent. It's between 0 and something. So we say like camera is, yes, we said 175. Nice clean number. And it's actually the dolly that moves. Okay, so the movement, and I think actually it's just cam dolly. That's the only thing we would change. And then the edges would be, so if we're at 3, the edges would be minus 31. Oh, the X pos is the same, but it's just the Y pos would be, sorry, the Z pos. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. So if the camera's like that, so the Z pos would be 18. So let's make it 18. And then we should end up with like positive and negative numbers basically. Should just be relative. Let me check that. Might be slightly off. Yeah, minus, okay, yeah, so minus 15, let's say. And then space modifier, zoom modifier, like I don't know, equals. And then I guess this is so gnarly. Like this isn't the best way to do it, but let's see. Camera zoom modifier. Okay. And let's say this is like 3, because I think that's about what it was. Let's just see what that does. of course. Interesting. Where have you put us? Okay, so that's remained the same. Huh? Okay, yeah, so the cam dolly. Cam. Don't care, that's fine. Like, just don't bother me with that shit. Why is that only now an issue? Okay. Why is Z mapped to 6? Like what? And it can't move up and down? What's wrong? Is it this bit? This does seem like a bit of a roundabout way of doing things. I'm still learning, still experimenting. Okay, what? Where is it getting these limits from? Where on earth is it getting these limits from? I mean, it's got this right. Like, that edge kind of ends up being consistent. But I'm a bit bloody annoyed that I can't move up and down. So map cam dolly position is -24. So this is in reverse. 18 minus. That's just stupid mistakes of mine, I think. Let's make it 10 even. Okay, the multiplier is slightly off. So the zoom modifier should be 2. Let's see what that does. But we're getting somewhere. So I'm fully zoomed in, then it's like it's on point. So if it was 4, I'm just kind of messing around with this. Like, I think the thing might just be the original solution, but yeah, I do kind of want to be able to like zoom out a lot. And then you could just have like a fog of war on the outside. Yeah, we kind of want to be able to zoom out on the whole map. Yeah, and the problem is it's so what if it was just times zoom modifier? Just as an experiment. Wait, the zoom modifier is always the same. And so we just want times. No, that was right. Times camera move, camera zoom times zoom modifier, but shouldn't it be multiplied by? So yeah, this should all be in brackets. These should all be times. And I'm not going to spend too much longer with this, like, because I want to move on. Like we got this bit working. This is just kind of messing around now. So okay. So it seems we can go way out. Like way out. So that's wrong. Unless maybe. So if it was 1, so it's times camera zoom, it's going to be like times 3. But the zoom modifier would make it like, I don't know, I'm really just experimenting here. Like, times 0.3, I mean divided by 3. So here we have like the edge is correct. And then if I zoom out, the edge goes out a bit further. Wouldn't I want the opposite effect? Like, because if I zoom out, I want to make it so that that number decreases. I'm just really, like, throwing shit at the wall here, seeing what sticks. Self-taught. I mean, I probably could just find, like, a bit of code somewhere that's, like, you know, make the zoom match the outline. Okay, so what we end up with here is just like a fairly consistent line. So if I said, so where are we here? Cam Dolly, 36. So what if I just made that starting point different? Because it seems like it's sort of a consistent edge. So what if I made that starting point different? And then I've got to go get my son from nursery. Like the zoom modifier seems correct. I think it's just like, I think the starting points are wrong. So if we're fully zoomed in, so that puts the camera, so we're fully zoomed in, we're at 2. So it should be like double that. Let's just try and find the left edge and make that work. So if that's 62, let's try that. Or like half of it. Seems completely unchanged. So, okay, let's go the other way then. 15. And then, whether this works or not, I've got to go. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Decent turnout today by my standards. I'll be back today at 1 PM. Okay, yeah, I think that's better, but the multiplier is off. But like, if that's how far we can zoom out, and if I just have to do like fog of war for that, so this should be 15. And otherwise, it kind of works. So we can go right off the edge there, but here, if we zoom in, we actually end up coming into the map. So yeah, I think the multiplier might be slightly off. What if we said if it was 0.5? Might be 0.2, in fact. Who knows? This has probably all been solved, and I'm just like late to the party. But actually, yeah, it is time to go. Last thing. Yeah, it seems like it's actually having the opposite effect. So maybe that should be times, well, I think I have it in a good spot. I spent way too long trying to figure that out, but yeah, I guess I'm just funny way of procrastinating. But I'm going to move on because I think it's better just to have like a fog of war on the outside than to kind of jam people's movement. And I don't know the maths for this. Maybe I'll get a LLM to help me. But anyway, all right, I'll be back at 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining, everyone. Cheers, bye.